Shalom, coming back through the spirit with another lesson. First, I'm going to start off this lesson with calling on our power. Call halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and shalom to the hopeful elect across the four corners of the earth. Coming back through the spirit, man, basically, I'm probably going to call this video, the uproars of the people, and that's what's going on right now. The people are uproaring, in China, because their wages, they feel like they've been bamboozled, man. They feel like they're not getting their rightfully wages, and, it's basically, there's uproars of the people because they're mad about that. So in this video, basically, that's what I'm going to, touch on. Start the video.
The world's largest iPhone factory in China has now offered to pay new workers $1,400 to quit and leave their jobs. This is after violent protests between employees and security forces broke out at the Foxconn compound this week. Selena Wang joins us again live this morning from Beijing. What's the latest?
Well, Poppy, we've obtained new video showing just how those protests at the Foxconn factory in central China turned violent. These workers, they've been angry about wages or angry about dirty living conditions and chaotic COVID rules. We know that squadrons of riot police rolled in to suppress the protesters. In one video, you can see a group of police wearing white hazmat suits. They're beating workers with batons and metal rods. Another video shows workers tearing down those COVID barriers, masses of them, throwing the metal parts of the COVID barriers towards police. We've also obtained another video that shows a group of workers that are working together to push over a police car. They're cheering and chanting as they push the car over. Now, Foxconn is desperately trying to calm things down. They are now offering to pay those newly recruited workers the equivalent of $1,400 to quit and leave the factory. We've seen videos of workers lining up to leave.
And that too, they're offering them now to pay them $1,400 to leave because now they're rioting, man. They rioting now, But that just goes to show that they had the money, but they was choosing not to pay them, And that's just the devil, man, Because they didn't have it. They didn't have it to get them the bonus pay that they was telling them they was going to give them, But they had enough money to tell them to leave.
But that puts even more pressure on Apple. They need those workers ahead of the holiday season. They've already announced that these COVID lockdowns in China are impacting shipments and making them more delayed, because this is where analysts estimate that more than half of the world's iPhones are produced, Poppy.
They are so tightly intertwined, Foxconn and Apple, and Apple is quite reliant on that factory. I know that you spoke with an employee at the scene of the protest. I wonder what they told you.
Yeah, exactly, Poppy. Foxconn is the most critical supplier for Apple. I did speak to a Foxconn employee. This worker told us that scenes at the protest turned into a river of blood, with police ruthlessly hitting workers. He also explained the payment issue here. So weeks ago, there was a mass exodus of workers from the Foxconn factory after there was a COVID outbreak. People literally walked miles across highways to escape the terrible living conditions. To try and attract more workers in this critical time period, Foxconn went on this mass recruitment drive, promising higher pay, better bonuses. But this worker said that when new workers got to the plant, the pay package that they got was much worse than advertised, and they felt...
See, and I'm going to pull that article in a few scriptures.
Cheated. Now, Foxconn, for its part, is blaming the payment issue on a, quote, technical error. Now, Poppy, this is a unusual, rare public display of dissent in authoritarian China, but we have seen more violent clashes like this break out during the pandemic as we see more and more cities go into these draconian lockdowns still in the third year of the pandemic.
Right. Result of the zero COVID policy that they continue to follow. Selena, thanks for following this for us.
Yep, so let me get I'm gonna go to. Well, first I'm gonna go into this article real fast. This is Reuters. Huge Foxconn iPhone plant in China rocked by fresh worker unrest. Okay, that's what's going on. So Down here it says the trigger for the protest, which began early on Wednesday, appeared to be a plan to delay bonus payments. Many other demonstrators said on live stream feeds the videos could not be immediately verified by Reuters. Give us our pay, chanted workers surrounded by people in full hazmat suits, some carrying batons. According to footage from one video, other footage showed tear gas being deployed and workers taking down quarantine barriers. Some workers had complained they were forced to share dormitories with colleagues who had tested positive for CV. So I'm gonna get Second Edges 9 and 1. He answered me then said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. Okay? And that's what's going on, man. We see the famine, the pestilence, the uproars of the people, the things that we've been told that's gonna happen, The pestilence, the CV, the famines, you got Gates, he got these all these farmlands, but they talking about how they be making, how they just got first started making a lab, that food, that meat, okay? So we see these things happening, because that's not real food, so that's not gonna be we see these things happening, chicken shortages, food plants, having shortages, all type of shortages, man. Therefore, when there shall be seen, Salah, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And when Yahushua told them that, they said, what shall be the signs of the end? And that's when he told them the all these things are gonna happen. Matthew 24. So that correlates in with Matthew 24, Matthew 24 and 3, and he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And then that's when he told us all these things. And for nation shall rise against nation. We see all these things happening. The wars, the rumors of wars, nation rising against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And we see all these things happening. So we measure in the time diligently. And we know that our Lord is on the way, All these are the beginning of sorrows, We know that our Lord is on the way, man, We see them trying to, as well as they trying, it says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all men, of all nations for my name's sake. We see these things happening, man. They trying to come against the men of the Lord, They bringing this, they trying to demonize us already, saying that it's that anti-word, man, But we know we measuring the time diligently, Okay? So we understand that this is the time where our Lord is returning, man. The uproars of the people, man. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. And we see that happening right now, Railroad workers, they're mad because they don't even be able to get because they're not able to get certain they're not to get a certain amount of days absence. What is the word? Days off, man. I'm not sure. I can't time off, So they're finna, they have a possible railroad strike, that's finna go down, which is gonna make the economy, that's gonna be huge inflation as well if that happens, you know. So, and that's what's going on, man. There's gonna be that's what's going on right now, though. Uproars of the people, you know, and that's what you see in this video, you know. People are angry.
Shows a group of workers that are working together to push over a police car. They're cheering and chanting as they push the car over. Now, Foxconn is desperately trying to calm things down. They are now offering to pay those newly recruited workers the equivalent of $1,400 to quit and leave the factory. We've seen videos of workers lining up to leave, but that puts even more pressure on Apple. They need.
Even in this article down here, it said, according to footage from one video, no. Okay, surrounded by people in full hazmat suits, some carrying batons. According to footage from one video, other footage showed tear gas being deployed and workers taking down quarantine barriers. Okay, so let me get the word uproar. If it might be, okay, you know, a noise, a tumult, you know, of righteous people, you know, a disturbance, you know, and that's what's going on right now, you know. That's literally an example of that, you know. Taking down quarantine barriers, you know, that January 16th, you know, them not regarding their kings nor princes, you know, they don't care, you know, right now, you know. A kingdom divided against itself shall not stand, and that's what's going on, man. They're going against each other, you know. They don't have no respect for where they at anymore, man. For their countries, you know, basically, you know. And some carrying batons, you know, as righteous people, you know. So it's very much uproars of the people, man. We get Proverbs 27:2, 29:2. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. You know, the people are messed up right now, you know, because they're not getting paid their wages. They're not getting able to get time to for their bodies to fully recover. You know, so it's not fair, you know. And the scriptures tell us how to deal with your servants, you know. But this is the wicked, and that's why the people are mourning. But when the righteous are gonna bear rule, we know how, especially of an Israelite servant, you know, they're doing this wrong to their own people, you know. Even in the scriptures, it tells you to give to your servant, give to them. Colossians 4:1, masters giving to your servants that which is just and equal, knowing that ye also have a master in heaven, you know. So we know how to deal with them, you know. You gotta deal with your servants just and equal. You gotta allow them to have enough time to even do the job that you're asking for them as, you know. Give them the right pay, you know, just and equal. Going to the word just. And we know what the word equal means, you know. Okay, righteous, observing divine laws, you know, just, meet, right, you know. So, we know how to deal with them, you know. Just and equally, you know. Even on the Shabbat, bro, you that was gonna get time to get rest, man. You know. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you, bro. I know some women that work at a plant, man. They used to work 7 days a week at some points, you know. Okay, that's ridiculous, dude. The devil got to go in the chains, man. You know, and the people are mourning, you know. So, with that, man, Lord's willing, this is edifying. It's uproars of the people. You know, the people are mourning. You know, and it's gonna continue to get worse. It's gonna get worse before it get better. You know. So we waiting for our Lord to return. You know, it's actually good. These things are good for us, as it said. Then shall we know that our the Lord is then he's gonna return to the world he made. You know, so it's good for us because we see that our Lord is on the way. You know, these are signs that the end is coming, and that's when we're gonna have our Lord, Yahweh Shah. Okay. So Lord's willing, this is edifying. When the end is listening off, we're calling on our power. Call Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Shalom.